Thank you for downloading the Wado Radio Podcast. If you love what you're hearing, leave a review on iTunes. We'd love to hear your feedback, and it helps expose others to the show. Thank you, and God bless.
This podcast is brought to you by Covenant Eyes. The internet can be a dangerous place for unguarded eyes and hearts. Covenant Eyes provides the services that protect against the evils and temptations that can be found on the World Wide Web. Visit wadoradio.com/resources for more information about our affiliate, Covenant Eyes.
Everybody lends an ear. I want to thank you in advance for letting us make it clear to y'all.
Yes, it's DJ Wado. It's the Wado Radio Show. It's more than music. It's ministry.
Yeah.
My brother Derek Minor is
Yeah.
in the building.
Hey.
We got a whole different setup. See, when you turn this video channel on, you never know where we gonna be. You know what I mean?
At mama house next week. Just be chilling. She got some cornbread, some collard greens.
Hey.
We just chilling over, just eating some good food.
You know I come through for that, bro.
I already know. You know what I'm
I
saying?
come through for that, man. How you been, man?
I can't complain, man. Just out here living life, loving life,
I feel you.
touring,
I was going to say the touring's good.
making music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything is everything, man.
RMG moving out here, man.
Hey, we got to.
Yeah.
It's either moving forward or not moving at all. So we moving forward, trying to progress, and everything is lovely. All the artists killing it, so I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm happy right now. I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling real good. I can't complain.
So, before we turn these cameras on, everything just clicked for me. What you're doing with these? I had the aha moment. It just all came together. And clicked.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Like, you getting ready to release. Well, I guess when this video comes out, this will be the day that you release part 2
Absolutely.
of this series that you're working through.
Yeah.
Man. For the people that was like me 5 minutes ago that didn't understand how all of this is fitting together, man.
Right.
How's this cooking right now, man?
So what we calling this is the Up and Away series. So it's 4 projects, 4 different vibes, but all one storyline. So it's Your Soul Must Fly, High Above, then the third one's called The Trap, and the fourth one's called By Any Means. So it's one sentence. Your soul must fly high above the trap by any means. So everything flows together. It's one storyline. Artwork is going to wind up being one big masterpiece, and everything's just coming together. So
yeah,
it's a beautiful thing.
So one of the things that when I was listening to part 2 earlier today and yesterday, I realized each of these projects has a distinct sound to it.
Absolutely.
Right? So, you know, the first one, typical Derek Minor, I guess.
Right.
You know,
high energy.
What you would expect, right?
Bangers, right.
I turned this one on. I'm like, man, this kind of takes me into, I don't want to say a worship vibe, but more of an introspective vibe. You know what I mean? And I can't wait to hear part 3.
Yeah.
The way you hyping this joint and 4 and all that. I
told Wade I'm probably gonna be. I feel like I'm making an album a lot of people have been trying to make the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the album that is relevant, but then it's also Christian at the same time. So, and guys have done great jobs, but I just feel like this record is especially with what I have in my head, if I'm able to pull that out, I feel like it's gonna be some game-changing music. Like, I'm super excited about it. And then the fourth one is, I'll just put it this way, the first album is the most typical.
Sure.
Like, it's the most typical. Everything else is on a whole different creative wave. God has really been blessing me with some crazy, like, ideas. So, and it's coming from a genuine place. Like, it's funny that you pointed out the second was, like, introspective, because it's really kind of, I'm taking you through moods where I came from. Because what inspired this was, I was on a tour. It was an arena tour, and I was depressed at the end of the tour and towards the second half of the tour, and I could not figure out why. Like, I was just like, why? So, you know, as I sat down and I thought through it, I'm like, you're trapped. Like, you're...
What trapped how, though?
So, all right. So if I take you through the storyline, Your Soul Must Fly. Anybody that has a dream, it's like you're like, man, I got to do this. So when you first started Wado Radio, you know what I mean, you a DJ, you got this passion to see Christian artists excel and thrive. And then what happens is, I feel like oftentimes we achieve that dream, or you don't get where you want to get to. And that's how High Above is. So at High Above, like when I was
dealing with that,
when I'm writing with it, it's like I'm high above. I've gotten everything. Like if you was to rewind 10 years ago and say, Derek, you're gonna do these, this thing, and I'm achieving them, but I'm still depressed. How does that happen? And then I realized it was a trap. And the reason that it's trapped is because that initial goal that I was pursuing, I stopped pursuing it at some point in time in my heart. And I'm pursuing after the stuff they tell me to pursue after. More ticket sales, more social media followers, more album sales. You may not be as good as this person or that person, not because you're not as good as them, or not because the art's not good, it's because maybe that person might sell 40,000 units and you might sell 20,000 units. So then now you get caught up in that, and it's a trap, because the real question is, how much is enough?
Wow.
So how many people listening to, if you were just basing your success at Wado Radio based off of numbers, how many people listening to Wado Radio makes it valuable? You can't quantify that.
Right.
Because especially if you compare it to someone else, because there's always going to be somebody better, always going to be somebody with a bigger budget, always going to be somebody better than you.
Absolutely.
So then the thing is, how do you break out of the trap? It's pursuing the original thing that God put in your heart.
Wow.
And you have to pursue that by any means. So that means if that means that I have to take my focus off of how many social media followers I have, or how many, like if I have to do this tour and I'm doing it, and maybe it may not do as good as everybody else's tour, but if my focus is winning souls or changing somebody's life, or, you know, making the people that love my music happy, then that's where I find the real success.
Sure.
The real success is doing what God called you to do the best way that you can. And then, because at the end of the day, you know as well as I know, we can't control the numbers. I can't control the numbers. All I can do is just control what God has given me, and just be happy with that. And man, I'm at the happiest place I've ever been, and I'm doing well, doing the best I've ever done. So it's like I saw my joy being siphoned out by me trying to be what people wanted me to be. And I feel like for years I was stuck in that trap. I would be happy until someone would compare me to someone else, or I would compare myself to someone else, and then I'm trapped again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I felt like, man, and it's crazy because, you know, when I first met you, you were indie, and you and Doc were getting ready to start the label or whatever.
Yeah.
But it hadn't quite come together.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously, then the Reach thing happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was a big thing. And I always felt like when you were there, you kind of had to play a role.
Absolutely.
That was outside of who you were, but you played the role like very well.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? And now I feel like once you kind of have gone back to RMG, you focused on that, especially with that Reflection album, man. Like, I feel like you really came into your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
And were able to just kind of like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. I'm going to move forward in this.
Yeah, the cool thing about my time at Reach was it was good in the sense of this. I learned the most I've ever learned about business being there. I've never learned more about business, touring, merchandising, marketing. But at that time, they were developing and trying to find themselves too, as a label. So it's hard to be following. And I think, you know, certain artists knew who they were, but I think as a brand, they were trying to figure out how to be great at what they do. You know, so they've seen things work for other artists, and they're like, okay, this is what works, guys. Everyone do this. And that's something what a lot of labels do. I mean, if you look at tons of labels, they do that. And I think for me, I just didn't really fit that mold as well as some others fit. So me being able to go back and be independent, it allowed me to do whatever I want. and I'm just such a creative weirdo type dude. Sometimes I have visions and it doesn't make sense until the end. You know, it's hard to explain to people. Just like this 4-project series that were going on. When I explained it to certain people, they were like, I don't get it. But then now, second project in, you like, boom,
Got it. Yeah.
And then now it makes sense. By the third one, you're going to be totally locked in. By the fourth one, you're going to be excited to see how it resolves.
Well, 4 projects like this, though, is a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
And it's probably even a bit of a risk.
Not for me.
Well, I mean, but I'm just saying, like, in an ordinary space, it's like...
I don't think so, man. I think it could be. This is why I say it's not a risk. Go look at all of the albums that have came out and then look at all of the numbers. They're totally unimpressive.
Sure.
So what value is it hoping to impress a bunch of people with first week sales? Like, and I just kind of got to that place a little bit early because I release music so much.
Sure.
Right? So what I started noticing is my yield as far as first week numbers wasn't the same as it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, but my popularity is at a rate that it's never been. Yeah. So then I started making the connection that, okay, the album sales and the success of an artist, album sales is a horrible gauge at that.
Yeah.
It's a horrible gauge at that now. You know, so, I mean, we could even take a prime example of a guy like Lecrae. You know, people will say, oh, well, he didn't do these numbers or whatever. You could say that, but then at the same time, you could look at his press portfolio and all those different things, what he's getting per show, sponsorships, endorsements, and all those different things. And he's at a place he's never been. Sure. Compared to where he might have sold more albums,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying,
yeah.
In the past. So anyone that's basing the success of an artist off of, you know, first week sales, it doesn't matter. It's actually more beneficial to release music at a high rate. Let's look at Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
Let's look at Future. Let's look at Drake before he took a pause. Drake oversaturated himself. He went and chilled. But let's look at all of the artists that are doing well. They have high rates of music.
No, but I don't mean it was a risk in releasing music.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Like I think you got to do that now.
Yeah.
I what I'm saying is it's a risk in most artists when they have a series like say Jay-Z.
Okay.
Blueprint 1, 2, 3. He named Blueprint 2 after Blueprint 1 was already classic. You know what I mean? Or Lil Wayne with the Carter series.
The Carter series.
Or, you know, Clips with the, you know, with their mixtape series. Or whoever. Anybody with.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like, oh, once this one pops, now let's make it a series.
Yeah.
Let's do part 2.
Oh, I got
you came into it like, this is a 4-parter.
Yeah.
From the beginning. And this is telling the whole story.
Well, see, and I have to credit my marketing team with that because
you want to put it all out.
My initial, if I'm being 1,000 with you, I'm gonna take you through the whole way how this developed. I came to them and said, I'm dropping 4 projects in 4 weeks.
Wow. Now that's
you listen, everybody said, no, you're not. I'm like, I'm dropping 4 projects in 4 weeks. We doing it like this. They was like, please. So when I did that video about 4 projects in 4 months, that was a concession for them.
That was the concession.
That was a concession. It was like just 4 once a month, please. So then, as we were working through it, what I noticed was like, there takes time for me to get these blog placements and things of that nature. So, and then also I realized it takes a while for people to digest the music.
Yep.
So what I realized, if I was to put it out 4 weeks or if I was to put it out in 4 months, it wouldn't give people time to fall in love with the music. It would be overload. So then now we said, okay, well, we'll do 2 this quarter and then drop the other 2 next year. So then that way people can digest it, you know,
you got time to sit with it.
Sit with it, get their favorite songs, et cetera, et cetera. So, but yeah, that's how my brain works.
Man, bro, if you would have did 4 and 4, that would have been too much, man.
It would have blew people's
That would
mind.
have been too much.
I mean, the music, a lot of the music is done. I mean, like, it's funny because I saw when I told people that I wasn't gonna do them 4 and 4 months. Somebody said, I knew he didn't have enough. I'm like, bro, if you knew how much music is sitting in my vault, like, if I died today, they probably could put 3 Derek Minor albums out.
You got the posthumous albums already done.
They already ready. They got 4 waiting right now. Like, I'll be like Tupac, where it's like, dog, he dead. Dave Chappelle will do skits.
Somewhere. He in Cuba somewhere.
It'll be crazy. Yeah, I already got it. It's there.
Yo, that is hilarious, man. So, I think you're a good person to talk to this about, man, is how this industry is consistently changing.
Talking
Right
about
now?
just music.
Just music in
It's
general.
crazy.
And I know, like, there's been a lot of artists that are still trying to fight streaming, and I'm like, man, you can't fight it, bro.
Bro, that's
Like-
like fighting.
You can't fight it, bro.
That's like fighting doggone Wolverine or
Yeah,
Magneto. You just not gonna win. You gonna get stomped out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I even find myself, even projects that I own, I still listen to them on Spotify.
You stream them.
It's easier.
It's convenient.
Yeah.
Convenience always wins.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta think if you on a long road trip, right? Let me ask you a question. Is it cheaper for you to go into Walmart or go into a local grocery store and buy a 2-liter? Is that cheaper than buying a $3 20-ounce drink from the convenience store? Which one you gonna pick? You gonna pick the $3
Yeah.
20-ounce
Yep.
at the convenience store
Yep.
every time.
Yep.
When you can get the 89-cent
Yep.
2-liter boy easy,
Yeah.
but it's not convenient.
It's not convenient.
It's not convenient.
Not going to no Walmart, bro.
It's not gonna make no, cause you gotta wait in line. You gotta go all the way back 4 hours to the section. You gotta get cups. You gotta get ice so it can get cold. When you could just get the 250 20-ounce joint,
20-ounce joint.
crack it open and drive with one hand and drink it. That's what streaming is.
That's a good way to put it.
It's the convenience factor. Like, so for music lovers like myself who have a large catalog of music already, like, it makes more sense if I like Jimi Hendrix, one of my favorite artists. Like, I can go listen to everything he's ever put out
Right.
on Spotify for $10 a month. Everyone, like, it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
So, to be honest, now streaming has almost made it like fiscally, it's like not even an advantage to buy our music anymore. It's fiscally irresponsible to buy an album. Like, when you think about it, I got $10. I can spend it on 10 songs, or I can spend it on all the songs
All
ever
these
made in the
joints.
world.
He said it's fiscally,
It's fiscally irresponsible. It doesn't make any sense.
But see, here's the thing, though. I even feel like the way you recorded these projects, like the 2 I've heard,
Yeah.
they're perfect for streaming because it puts you in the same vibe. Like,
Yeah.
I'm listening to High Above. I'm like, bruh, like, I can just let this joint ride all the
Absolutely.
way through.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's, I mean, listen, bro. That's what it takes.
It's moods. Like, you've been conditioned to listen to music of a certain type. I mean, since radio.
Yeah.
Since radio.
Yeah.
Like, all the way since radio. So now, with a playlist,
Yeah.
High Above is a small playlist.
It's a playlist, bro.
Your Soul Must Fly is a small playlist.
Yeah.
The trap will be a small playlist.
Yeah.
So when you feel like just vibing, you're going to put High Above on. When you feel like you need that motivation to take on your day and to work out in the gym, you're going to put Your Soul Must Fly on.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good, man. Talk to me a bit about what RMG is doing strategically right now.
Yeah.
Because, and our last interview, we talked about this a bit.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot more happening even since then. In terms
Yeah.
of artists you guys have signed.
Yeah.
So it's like you got the regular RMG, you got the RMG Amplify.
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys, it's a lot of artists associated with the RMG brand, right?
Absolutely.
You know, as a result of this. So, man, just talk a bit about like where you see this going. And
Well, if I'm being honest, like, I don't really know where God is taking it.
I feel you. That's real.
Like, I just know there is a need in our space for structure.
Yeah.
There's a need in our space for support of artists, and we have the ability to help.
To do it. Yeah.
So, you know, I talked to Doc a year ago and was like, man, every time when we would have meetings with people and all types of things like that, they would say, lack of infrastructure, lack of infrastructure, lack of infrastructure, lack of infrastructure. People don't pay royalties out. People, like, we love you guys because you have infrastructure,
Yeah.
even if it's minimal.
Yeah.
So, and then when we would work with producers and things like that, you know, they wouldn't know anything about publishing. They wouldn't know anything about anything. So, me and Doc was like, man, it's a great opportunity to be able to partner with artists that we like and help them grow what they're doing, and they're helping us grow as well. You know, I mean, it's added a degree of validity to our label in the sense that, you know, a lot of artists are like, man, I don't need a major thing. I just go to RMG Amplify, work with them, and then people have seen, you know, the great marketing plans that we've rolled out for people like Reconciled, and what we're doing for Kanata, and what we're doing for Role Model Records and different artists like that, and what we're doing for OB, who's just dropped a single. Like, people are seeing that, and it's making more people, you know, want to come to us and get some help, and we're happy to help, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's about making, like, when we say RMG is for the culture, when people say that, like, we actually mean it. Like, it's not like, we're not just like trying to be way up here and everybody else down here, and we don't care about nobody else. Like, we actually trying to rise the culture. I want there to be other people that are at our level in the next 5 years, because then that creates an economy.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
That creates an economy, because what
bro.
Christian
You had a
music is
little
like is
Twitter
an
rant about that the
economy.
other
Yeah,
day.
there's no economy. Like, if we have everything in house contained, and we have, so if you think about, we're in New York right now, right? So if all of the money that New York generated never came back to New York State, the state would crumble.
Right.
Right. So if it only goes outward and it never comes back to the state, then the state would crumble. Buffalo would feel it.
Yeah.
Right. Syracuse would feel
Rochester.
it. Rochester would feel it.
Yep.
They benefit from the success. But the thing is, if you grow Rochester's, Buffalo's, Syracuse, then the whole state grows.
Yeah.
Then everybody eats financially. You know what I mean? And that, or if just the New York, Manhattan was just winning, but then, like, there's a reason why they're trying to get, you know, make sure Brooklyn and Long Island and all those places are growing. And they may never be bigger than Manhattan, but if you get them, Brooklyn's
right,
killing. But that helps all 5 boroughs. When Brooklyn wins, it helps all 5 boroughs, right? So for me, it's empowering our neighbors to do well, so that there's an economy here. And then what happens is people are able to go get bigger deals.
Yep.
People are able to, you know, get more money for shows, more tickets are sold, more artists are collabing, more producers are making money. Everybody's happy.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So that's the
Good.
big goal for me. That's the dream for me, is to create an economy here.
Yeah. I know you work with a lot of the younger, new up and coming artists.
Yeah.
You put them on your projects. I hear stories about guys, you know, coming to your studio to work,
Yeah.
mentoring them, that kind of thing, man. Where does the heart to do that come from, man?
Man, I had to say that was passed down from my man BJ.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when I was a dude that everybody was just like, nah, we ain't messing with this cat, he too wild. BJ took me under his arm and was like, nah, this is what this means in the Bible. This is that. You know, and then, you know, Lecrae took me under his wing and said, yo, this is what I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you, you know, like what this looks like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to continue that, just with my spin on it though, in the way that I see it. So it's discipleship, man. Like, and then too, I'm at a place where I've learned a lot. So if I can help one of these younger artists miss a bunch of pitfalls that I fell into, why wouldn't I do that? Like, if you about to go outside and go get hit by a bus, and I'm like, dang, a bus, I'm about to hit this dude, and I don't say nothing to you, then that's on me. That ain't really just on you, you know? So I feel responsible. I feel like this is a niche. It's not a lot of us. They need to know what they walking into if I can help, you know? So, yeah.
It's crazy, man, because when I think back to, like, when a lot of us was starting out and how this industry has progressed, how music has progressed, even how a lot of us have progressed, it's crazy because I feel like a lot of us had no clue what we was walking into.
Clueless. So, hey, look, I got hustle so smooth. I'm still figuring out today. Like, hold up, man, that was a hustle. I got so bad. I got finesse so hard. Like, I'm 6-7 years later. Like, man, I got finessed. I got finesse so bad. Yeah,
that's crazy. So I saw some chatter on the internet the other day where they were comparing you to Kanye West. You saw that?
Yeah, I saw that.
You think you the Christian rap Kanye West?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Am I? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, I think I'm the Derek, you know, but I think I do share similarities in the sense of
you go on these rants.
Yeah, I think I can't help it though, man. That's just me. That's me in real life.
Y'all both rap and produce. Y'all both dope, and you rant. That's the comparison.
I mean, if that's the comparison, I live with it. Sure. I could take it. You know, I could take it.
Yeah, but you ain't crazy like that though.
Yeah, and I don't have the fashion game Kanye had. That boy Kanye come out in a fur coat, no shirt on, 60 gold chains on, Louis Vuitton drawers on.
But then everybody start copying it though.
And then everybody, I don't have that. I don't have that. I wish I had that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's my next album cover.
60 gold chains.
60 gold chains.
60 gold chains, no shirt. So I gotta ask you this, bro.
Okay.
With how intricate this album is, there has to be some type of tour for this at some point.
Yeah, the grand plan is once it's all released to tour it and let people experience it live in the way that it's sequenced, project by project. So I want to create I feel like, especially in our space, when people look at rap, they look at it as youth group music.
Yeah.
Or they look at it as just ratchet, whatever. And I want to create something. I want you to look at this and feel like, wow, this is beyond music. And that's what I'm trying to create. It's an experience. It's live strings, live horns, live everything. So what we're going to do is probably do something in Nashville first to give people an idea of what it is to experience, and then try to let the rest of the world in on it, you know. So, that all comes down to budget, and it all comes down to sponsorships and things of that nature. So if you build it, they will come though, right? So we just going to build it and see what happens.
Yeah, that's good, bro. That's good, man. Well, Derek, man, I can sincerely say I'm happy to see you in this space, bro.
Man.
Like, I don't know if I've seen this much joy in your face.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I've seen that before, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm feeling good, man. God is good. And, man, I appreciate you, man. You and Chris Chicago, the first two dudes to ever be like, man, this dude might be something. He might have something behind all that braggadocious. Rah. There might be something there. So, like, I'm just thankful, man, like, that you guys, rock with me and still rocking. And I'm thankful to be able to do this. I mean, it's rare to be able to do what I do. I mean, when you think about it, like the tour I'm on right now, I'm the only independent. If you think about who's touring on arena tours, in this space, I'm the only person that's independent.
Yeah.
It's me, God, and Doc. and that's it. So, I mean, it's a blessing to be able to do this at this level.
Yeah.
You know, later on.
And I mean, we can't undersell this as a black man in that space. You have records on radio.
Absolutely.
That's a feat, bro.
I had a number one independent like for 4 weeks. People was like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah, but
it's
you created
cool.
a whole other lane for yourself with that. Now,
Absolutely, man. So I can't complain at all, man. God is good. I'm just riding along on the trips. Where we going today, God?
Hey, that's what it is.
Yeah, straight up.
Well, man, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Everybody lends an ear. I wanna thank you in advance for letting us make it clear to y'all on the Wade Out Radio Show.
Thanks for tuning in to another Wade Out Radio full interview. This was made possible in part by our affiliate, Covenant Eyes. The internet can be a dangerous place for unguarded eyes and hearts. Covenant Eyes provides the services that protect against the evils and temptations that can be found on the World Wide Web. Established over a decade ago, Covenant Eyes is the pioneer in internet accountability software, empowering its members to maintain their online integrity. I personally use them on every device that I have: computer, iPhone, iPad, whole 9 yards. Don't go another day without guarding your eyes, your mind, and your heart. Visit wadeoradio.com/resources for more information about Covenant Eyes. And if you sign up via our affiliate link at wadeoradio.com/resources, we'll give you a month free. Covenant Eyes, trusted by thousands of families, including mine. This interview is brought to you by our sponsor, Devin Turner. This MC and pastor is not only putting out great music, but he's doing phenomenal work in his community and abroad. Check out his new album, Luminary, available on all digital outlets. For more info, visit his website at devinturner.org.
Thank you for downloading the Wade Out Radio podcast. If you love what you're hearing, leave a review on iTunes. We'd love to hear your feedback, and it helps expose others to the show. Thank you, and God bless.